I know you gonna dig this.
Now, if there's a more star-studded cemetery in Los Angeles, I don't know where it would be. Because this is Pierce Brothers Westwood Village, and there are more celebrities buried here than any I could think of. And it's tiny. It's the smallest cemetery. It's not the smallest I've ever been in on my travels, but definitely in Los Angeles it is. Steve the Graveyard Guy has been out here and done a video before. He's a good friend of mine. You check, he's done a few videos from here. This is gonna be my own little personal tour. I'm sure other people have done this cemetery as well, but this is gonna be, I'm gonna be doing it all from memory, take you on a tour, go do a little circle around, show you some hidden graves, unmarked graves, and here we go. I brought a friend with me too, a fellow YouTuber. He does cemeteries, interesting places, strange places, cool guy. We met up, he met up with me in a different cemetery not too long ago here in Los Angeles. Recognized me from the hair, and he watched my videos, and now we've teamed up to do a few videos. And I'm gonna take him on a tour because he doesn't know a few of these places that are here. He doesn't know a few of these graves. So let's meet Paul right this way. So this is Paul from Paulitos Way. Subscribe, I'll put a link below. And Paul, I'm gonna take you on a little tour of Pierce Brothers, show you some stuff that you don't even know is here, right? Yeah?
Let's go.
We're gonna do it. Let's do it. Paulitos Way. So right this way, Paulito is right over here as soon as you come in. Now, people know this actor from a few different things. I know him as Mr. Furley from Three's Company, Don Knotts. There you go.
Isn't that like the best head somebody ever seen?
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. He saw the poignancy in people's pride and pain and turned it into something hilarious and endearing. Don Knotts, right here as soon as you come in. Do you remember Three's Company?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Mr. Furley. He was the landlord. After the Ropers, Mr. Furley took over the building. His brother owned the building, and Mr. Furley was in charge. And he made that show a little bit better, if you ask me. Okay, so now we're gonna find someone else that you're gonna recognize right away. Right up to the right is Eva Gabor. Ow, just hit my head. So there's Eva Gabor. We love you, you're in our hearts forever. Our darling Eva. And right around here is someone else that you're gonna recognize the name right away. Well, two over from Eva Gabor is director John Cassavetes. Right there. And now we're gonna go over here. So, like I said, you come right in here. We're gonna turn to our left. Over here, a lot of names you're gonna recognize. Starting with, let me find him right here. Mel Torme. Music, the greatest good that mortals know, and all of heaven we have below. Mel Torme right here. Mel Torme, famous singer. Of course, I know him best from Seinfeld with Kramer. If you remember that episode. One episode. It was very, very, very funny. And now, this wall here, to our extreme left, there are about 4 or 5 very famous people right here. Let's take a look. One of my favorite writers, Truman Capote, right here, with Joanne Carson, who was married to Johnny Carson. They're best friends, and they're buried together. Truman Capote, In Cold Blood, one of the best books you will ever read. great writer, Truman Capote. Very flamboyant, Studio 54, friends with Andy Warhol, my favorite artist. I've read most of Truman Capote's stuff. He's great. Immediately to his right, you're gonna find another writer, Jackie Collins, Joan Collins' sister, and I believe her most famous book was called The Bitch, from what I remember. She gave a great deal of people a great deal of pleasure. Jackie Collins. And two below Jackie Collins is Heather O'Rourke from Poltergeist. In Poltergeist 1, 2, and 3, Carol Ann from Poltergeist. Young girl, she died tragically at a young age. She's only, I guess, how old was she? 13? Almost 12 or 13? Very young. And I believe we were talking about a few other cast members from Poltergeist died, right? Yeah. Tragically at a young age. Heather O'Rourke, but the other ones died. I think it was an older lady and the other sister. We'll get to that, but yeah. Now we're gonna go in here. And right here is Buddy Rich, famous musician. This is Buddy Rich, one of a kind. "70 years old, still relatively young, I think, to pass away, 70 years old. Buddy Rich. Then we're gonna go outside again, and to our left, in an outdoor crypt, is probably one of the most famous movie stars of all time, and one of the most famous graves of all time. Right here to our left.
And the last time I came, he was in here. But he already had a reserve.
Now, right beside Marilyn Monroe is a gentleman that you will recognize the name right away, the most famous bachelor of all time. Passed away in 2017, and it was always said that he had bought the crypt beside Marilyn Monroe. I don't know if anybody ever really knew that for sure, but it's definitely for sure now. Hugh Hefner is right here. Take a look. Hugh Hefner, Marilyn Monroe. Right there. And right here, from what I remember, I have to find the gentleman's grave. It's a bit of a mystery, and I'm going to solve it. Is that a good hint? It's Robert Stack. Unsolved Mysteries, famous actor. He's buried somewhere right around here. I think he's in the wall. I can't remember. I'll have to keep looking, but he's definitely, from what I remember, around here somewhere. I'm just leisurely walking around. You're with me. Paul's over there filming for his channel. And yeah, so this is just you, me, Paul, walking around. People are always out, as you can see from the lipstick on Marilyn's grave. People are always out here to see Marilyn and now Hugh Hefner. And I wonder if they know about all the other famous people that are buried here. But I know I talked to somebody who worked here before, and they said Marilyn gets hundreds of people every day, just to come see Marilyn Monroe's grave. And you can give it a kiss if you like. Now, where is Robert Stack? I just remembered that when I was here the first time, this was open behind me, and that's where Robert Stack is. His ashes are interred here, I believe, in this little area inside, and it's locked today. But yeah, Robert Stack is right in here. I don't know if you watched my Frank Sinatra grave video where I went to visit Frank in Palm Springs Frank Sinatra buried in the same cemetery as Sonny Bono, but one of Frank's best friends, fellow Rat Packer, is right here as well. I'm going to show you that grave right now. So Dean Martin from the Rat Pack. Martin and Lewis with Jerry Lewis, famous comedy duo, and performed all the time with Frank and Sammy Davis Jr. Everybody loves somebody sometime. My father really loved Dean Martin. And the Dean Martin Celebrity Roast, my roommate and I, my ex-roommate, good friend of mine, obviously, still, but we used to watch those celebrity roasts all the time. We bought them on DVD and watched them, and watching Dean Martin laugh just will make you laugh. Google some of that. I'm sure you can on YouTube after you watch this. You can see some Dean Martin celebrity roast clips, and they are hilarious. Those guys were fun. They were dirty, and they just really loved to, as they say in England, take the piss out of their friends, and that's what they did. Dean Martin. Famous actor Robert Loggia, right at the top. Let me zoom in a little so you can see. Robert Loggia, L as in Loggia. Husband, father, actor, you are forever loved. Okay. So you know Robert Loggia, right? He's been in everything. Beloved character actor. He's played a tough guy, but he also played a good guy in a few movies. But also well known now to a certain generation from Family Guy.
L as in Loggia.
L as in Loggia. Right, now we're gonna, this area over here, there's a lot of celebrities, but we're gonna go over here. I'm gonna show you a couple of really cool, yeah, it's interesting, cool graves that are right here in this little area here. Now, right here, if I'm not mistaken, no, it could be the next one up.
Wait, no.
Who are you looking for?
Forgot. I remember there's somebody right here.
Yep, I know who you're thinking of. It's gonna be right up here. I think it's right up here. The grave that we're talking about. Right here, Burt Lancaster. Famous actor. From Here to Eternity, I believe was his most famous movie, if I'm correct. Yeah, Burt Lancaster, right here.
So these are all like ashes buried in the ground?
Yes, these are where the ashes are interred. The bigger ones are graves, and then these would be the ashes. And not too far from Burt Lancaster is Carl Wilson, right here from the Beach Boys, and The World is a Far Lesser Place Without You. Brother of Brian Wilson, but buried right beside him is Paul Gleason. Do you know who Paul Gleason is?
No.
Have you seen Breakfast Club?
Yes.
The teacher. If you mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Oh, the principal?
The principal, sorry, the
yeah.
principal, correct. That's him right there. Daddy, actor, ball player. Paul Gleason right beside Carl Wilson. Okay, and there's another celebrity right beside here somewhere. Let me find the lady. I'm an incredible singer and mother of a very famous actress right now. And she's right here. I just have to do a little bit of a look, but she's right here. Here she is, right here. Minnie Riperton Rudolph. Lovin' You, that was her big song, right? Lovin' You is easy because you're beautiful. Hers was a gift of love, a miracle of life for all the world to see and hear forever. Now, Minnie Riperton, do you know who her daughter is?
No, tell me.
Maya Rudolph. Saturday Night Live, Bridesmaids.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her mother. Maya Rudolph has an amazing voice. But here, yeah. Minnie Riperton. So continuing our walk, we're going to walk just past Paul Gleason, Carl Wilson, Minnie Riperton to a famous actress and Playboy playmate who tragically died. She was murdered by her boyfriend. And Dorothy Stratton, she's here as well. Yeah, so here's Dorothy Stratton. And it reads, if people bring so much courage to this world, the world has to kill them to break them. So of course it kills them. It kills the very good and the very gentle and the very brave impartially. If you are none of these, you can be sure that it will kill you too, but there will be no special hurry. We love you, DR. Dorothy Stratton, right here. So, yes, she was murdered by her boyfriend, then her boyfriend killed himself. And it's a house not too far from here. And if you come to LA, you can do a tour called the Dearly Departed Tours. My friend Scott Michaels, you've heard of Scott Michaels. I got to be friends with him, and my first time I came to LA, I did his tour. And you go to the house where the murder and the suicide occurred. Very interesting, very sad to see. But if you're coming to LA, you should definitely try to take one of those tours on Dearly Departed if you're interested in things like this, because they're very in-depth, and Scott knows literally everything. Yeah, he knows everything. Okay, now I'm going to show you a couple of other smaller graves here, then we're going to get to some really interesting ones. Right here, Betty Mae Page, Queen of Pinups. Betty Page, right here. Not too far from Betty Page, just underneath this big tree, is Eve Arden. Famous actress, wife, mother, actress, author. The world will remember. Eddie Albert, right here. If I remember, Donna Reed's not too far from Eddie Albert. I think somewhere around here would be Donna Reed. Donna Reed right here. My love, Donna Reed. Looks like her husband is still alive. That's amazing. Donna Reed Asmus, Grover W. Asmus. Right here. Now we're going to take a walk up here because there's two famous graves right here. This is, like I said, I mean, if you're still watching, if you're still with me, there's a lot here. It's star-studded, to say the least. I mean, we're walking. Are you amazed about how many graves are here? Like so how many famous people?
It's so small.
Yeah, it's so small, and I'm sure that there's a few that I haven't even seen. And here we are, right here. Look here. Look at this. You recognize this name right away. Natalie Wood. Beloved daughter, sister, wife, mother, and friend. West Side Story, rebel without a cause, and tragically died in a boating accident just off the coast of Catalina.
Christopher Walken was present.
Christopher Walken and Robert Wagner were there, and yeah, there's a lot of controversy about how she died. And now we're gonna look right down here. From what I remember, there's a very famous actor right here. Here he is, yep, Bob Crane. Hogan's Heroes. Colonel Hogan, star of Hogan's Heroes. Robert Everett Kane, father of Deborah, Karen, and Marie. Robert Scott Crane. There you go. There's a movie called something, Greg Kinnear, where Greg Kinnear plays Bob Crane. Something Autofocus. It's a great movie, and it tells a story about Bob Crane, and because he had a very interesting life, to say the least, and he was murdered. Yeah, and I believe, he married his co-star. Yeah, she was Hilda on Hogan's Heroes, right here. Richard Dawson, Family Feud, Hogan's Heroes as well. Richard Dawson, forever in our hearts, loving husband, father, and grandfather. Let's play the feud. Richard Dawson right there. Now there's a couple, like I was saying, a couple of, I don't know if they're secret, but unmarked graves right here. Are you ready to see the unmarked grave?
Yeah, let's go.
Mega superstar. If you watch my Memphis video, I talked a lot, one of my Memphis videos, I talked a lot about this guy. Oh Pretty Woman, Crying, She's a Mystery to Me, which is my favorite Roy Orbison song. Life Goes On, not Life Goes On, Life Fades Away by Roy Orbison. When you're done watching this, get that song, Life Fades Away. Beautiful song. Roy Orbison is right here in an unmarked grave. I'll show you. If you come out, just look for Frank Wright Tuttle, Grandma Martha Monroe. Roy Orbison is right here. Did you know Roy Orbison was here?
No, you just told me.
Okay, there you go. There's another hidden grave here as well. There's an unmarked famous grave not too far, but this one doesn't have a headstone or anything as well. He's right over here. I'm gonna show you where that is right now. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Roy Orbison's wife, Barbara Orbison, I think she just recently passed away. I should know this. And she's buried here too.
Oh, really?
Unmarked as well. Yeah. So now we're gonna go over here. Gonna look for a couple of big trees. I gotta remember, but yeah, I know. Okay, I'll show you right now as soon as I find what I'm looking for. Something very, very, very interesting. A huge musician, and it's obvious right away. As soon as I look, I remember. I see the name. Frank Zappa. Did you know Frank Zappa's here?
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah, I told you already.
My tour guide, Scott.
This pumpkin planter, looks like a pumpkin kind of. This is always here. That marks Frank Zappa. You can look for Lou Ayres. Frank Zappa right here. In this spot. So did you used to watch Gilligan's Island reruns?
Yeah.
This is Mr. Howell from Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan's Island.
Jim Backus, darling husband, with his wife Henny. Now, I wonder if he called her Lovey. Lovey. Jim Backus right here.
This was funny.
Yeah. It's still funny to this day, Gilligan's Island. Still.
They play it on TV still?
Yeah, I see it every now and again on like
TV Land or?
yeah, something like that, and it's still funny. Okay, now we're going into the most star-studded part of the cemetery. You thought already there was a lot of celebrities here? Watch this. I've missed a couple that were here, and I thought Dominique Dunn was here. I'm trying to. We haven't Googled anything, right? This is all from memory. So I'm trying. I thought Dominique Dunn was here. Daughter of Dominic Dunn, famous artist, famous writer. Sorry. And he did the OJ trial famously. He followed that, wrote a lot, writer for Vanity Fair. But his daughter was an actress, and she was murdered by her boyfriend as well. And that's actually on the Dearly Departed tour as well. But Dominique Dunn, she was in Poltergeist. Maybe I'm thinking wrong.
We might have to Google it.
I don't want to Google it. I want to do it all from memory. Well, maybe we have to Google it. But we're going to go into the most star-studded part right now, and you're going to see a lot of famous names, and one grave that's unmarked, but the person that's buried there is quite a huge celebrity, but it's unmarked. So look right here. I'm going to flip the camera around right away. We're right into famous people. One of the funniest graves, one of the funniest men ever, Rodney Dangerfield. There goes the neighborhood. Much respect, Rodney, much respect. Continuing along here, you see Farrah Fawcett, who died on the same day as Michael Jackson. Right next to Farrah Fawcett, Merv Griffin. I will not be right back after this message. Merv Griffin. Famous game show creator, talk show host, producer, and then of course Farrah Fawcett, Charlie's Angels, The Burning Bed. What else was Farrah in? Just married to Lee Majors, Ryan O'Neal, yeah. Trying to think. Massively famous. Buried side by side. Oh, right here, I'm gonna show you. You want to see Mr. Wilson from Dennis the Menace from the movie version, right? Because I know Walter Matthau I remember from Bad News Bears, and he's in a lot of Neil Simon comedies, and of course I know him from Dennis the Menace as well. But he was a big star, Walter Matthau, and here we go, Walter Matthau right here. And then right beside Walter Matthau, George C. Scott. This is when I was telling you, it's unmarked, but this is George C. Scott right here. He played Patton, won an Oscar. Famous actor. George C. Scott, unmarked grave.
What do you think they make them unmarked for?
It's weird. I don't know why sometimes it's like that. You know? Maybe the family just wants to keep it private, but everybody, you know, it's well known anyways. It's an odd thing. Or maybe they sometimes, I mean, I've been to other celebrity graves where they said that they're waiting to put up a proper monument, or they want to change it, or they want, you know, they're waiting for maybe a family member to pass away to put it together. You know what I mean? Could be many reasons why. Son of Kirk Douglas, brother of Michael. You just reminded me that he was here. I forgot. Eric Douglas, right here. Do you know how he passed away? I'm not sure. I think it could have been a drug overdose, because I know he was a troubled man. Very sad. So Eric Douglas, brother of Michael, son of Kirk.
Drug overdose accident.
Accidental drug overdose. Now we're gonna go, well, I'm gonna show you one grave that's back here, and then we're gonna go back around inside. But right here, from what I remember, there he is, Carl Malden. Famed actor Carl Malden, right around the side here. Okay, now we're gonna go inside, Paul. Ready? See, if you're getting a kind of a hint of how Maryland's right there. This is how small this cemetery is. And all those graves I was showing you, like Carl Wilson and all that, right there. So we've gone a circle down and back around. And we're gonna go inside here now, and I'm gonna show you a lot more, because there's a lot of people buried in this section. So you come in, one of the first ones you see is Florence Henderson. Beloved mother of 4, cherished mom to millions, forever in the hearts of her family, friends, and fans. Florence Henderson. And walked down here, and I think Paul already saw where I was going. One of my favorite actresses from one of my favorite sitcoms that I didn't like at first, and then I love it. Doris Roberts from Everybody Loves Raymond. Right there. Yeah, it's weird. I did not like Everybody Loves Raymond when it was on. Yeah, and then an ex of mine would say it was so funny, and I didn't believe them. I was like, no, it's not. And then I finally watched an episode, and I was like, Yeah, this is funny. And she was amazing as Marie, the mom. And a bit of a tragic cast because the grandfather, Frank, has passed away. Marie, Doris Roberts, and one of the twin boys tragically killed himself. I don't know if you knew that. One of the twin boys from Everybody Loves Raymond as well. We're gonna go in here now and show you something else. Actor Brian Keith, his daughter Daisy Keith. Now Brian Keith, very famous, and he had cancer, and then his daughter obviously was suffering from depression, and then depression over her father having cancer. She killed herself, and then he killed himself like just a few months afterwards. Shot himself up in Malibu over depression about his cancer and depression over his daughter killing herself. And people say that he was, because he had owned a lot of guns, that he would show them to people and he would clean them so often. So some people say now that he didn't kill himself, that it was an accidental. We're never gonna know, I don't think, but all signs point to him being, because he had terminal cancer and his daughter had just killed herself. So all signs point to the fact that probably was suicide, but I don't know. Now we're gonna go over here, and from what I remember, if I'm not mistaken, on this wall here, interred is Jack Klugman from The Odd Couple. And Quincy was a big show that he was on. And right beside him, Janet Leigh. Famous actress, Psycho. She was Marion Crane in Psycho, right? Is that the character name? Yeah, Marion Crane. From Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, right there, side by side. And of course, the mother of Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis. Famous author, Ray Bradbury. Here's where Jack Klugman and Janet Leigh is. Ray Bradbury right here, author of Fahrenheit 451. Now we're going to continue along over here. I'm going to show you, it's still a lot more. Well, not too many more, but there's yeah, you're going to see. It's a lot to take in. Beautiful, beautiful surroundings. We're right in the middle of Los Angeles. Like, you look around, Wilshire Boulevard is right out there, and it's so loud, so crazy out there. And there's this little peaceful little area. Am I right, Paul? Like, we're right in the middle, isn't it, of the city, and how quiet. Isn't it weird that you're in the middle of a huge city right now?
And it's really hidden.
Yeah, it's hidden and it's quiet, and it's just, it blows my mind every time I come here how quiet it is. So we're gonna take a look now and show you something else. Ozzie and Harriet, their son David, brother of Ricky, David Nelson, right here. David Ozzie Nelson, our darling husband and father, has gone fishing. Then we're gonna go right over here and look at this memorial bench. There's two benches back here. And here is Miss Peggy Lee. Famous singer. Music is my life's breath. Angels on your pillow, Mama Peggy. Now, some of these older celebrities I do forget, but I believe Peggy Lee, biggest hit was Fever. Give me fever. And I think my mother told me that when I was young, when we went to Nashville on a family trip, that we saw Peggy Lee perform at the Opry, the new Opry, a long time ago. Or no, I guess it would have been the old. I don't know. I'm not sure. What's the Opry called? Ryman Auditorium. So my mother said that I saw her. I don't remember, but I'm glad I did. I also saw Dionne Warwick when I was a kid, and I don't remember that. Here's James Coburn. Famous actor. Go bravely on, James Coburn, right here. Famous actor. Okay.
Where's Sage Stallone?
Sage Stallone is going to be right around the corner here. Now we're just doing a quick tour, walking around. I highly suggest if you're gonna come out here, spend a lot of time, and I hope everybody's able to pay their respects a little bit through this video. And we're going quickly through it. But yeah, that's always when I make grave videos. I'm doing it for people that can't get out here to see. And Ashley, you specifically said you wanted me to do Marilyn Monroe's grave, so I hope you enjoyed this, Ashley. And seeing some of the other celebrities that are here. Now we're gonna walk into this garden, and it is a lot to take in who is buried here. Ready? We're gonna go through it together. You're with me. Jack Lemmon in That's pretty funny. Carol O'Connor, Archie Bunker, in the heat of the night, right next to him. Billy Wilder. I'm a writer, but then nobody's perfect. Up here, Peter Falk. I'm not here, I'm home with Shara. And there's a bench here that says Columbo, right near Peter Falk's grave, and Peter Falk played Columbo. Sam Simon. It's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up. William J. Bell. Producer and writer of The Young and the Restless, The Bold and the Beautiful. And I believe the father of Laura Lee Bell, who was Cricket on Young and the Restless. And that's from my youth, remembering that. I can't believe I remember that, but my father and mother both liked Young and the Restless. So I remember the name Laura Lee Bell as Cricket. I believe that his daughter. Okay, now we're gonna go in and around and show you some more. Interesting taking Paul around, because he's really good. He recognizes a lot of the names, and it's good to have an extra eye when you're looking around, and he knows a lot of the people. And here is what he wants to see the most, who he wants to see the most, I'm sorry, Sage Stallone. Son of Sylvester. Which Rocky was he in? Rocky 5?
Yeah, a little kid.
Yeah, he was the little boy in Rocky 5. He played Rocky's son. Sage Stallone. And I believe it was a drug overdose? Was
yeah.
it? Yeah, something like that. Something very tragic and sad. He was 36 years old, so he was very, very young. Far too young.
So we're guessing that's for the channel?
Hmm?
Because these have never been used.
So there's a bunch of empty ones around, so we're thinking they are for the Stallones. That's what you were saying you heard, right?
Yeah.
And there's one beside it, beside. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're all kind of empty, right?
Yeah, it's just these two right
Sure. Now I wonder if somebody passes away, they have to lift this granite stone back out. You know what I mean?
To put it, the words in?
To etch it, to inscribe it. So I wonder why they put it there beforehand. I never really thought about that before. Seems like an awful lot of work to put it down and take it back.
Was that the style, or just getting old?
I don't know, eh? Yeah. Could be just the style of the granite, the marble. It's marble, not granite. So, that's it from Pierce Brothers. Paul, what'd you think?
It's the first time I went through everyone.
Overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It took us about a good hour. But I would suggest if you like this sort of thing and you want to pay respects and you're in Los Angeles, give yourself a couple of hours to leisurely stroll. It's small, but you want to take your time and pay your respects. So for Paul and I, rest in peace to everyone that's here. celebrity or not. Peace out.